My name is Brian Fass, and I'm currently in my studio. And this is during the COVID crisis. And I figured, since I'm spending so much time here, maybe I give everybody who I've told about my studio a tour, a virtual tour. So I'm gonna get behind the camera in a moment and walk around my place. It's very big. It'll take some time. I think it's about a 15-minute tour, but I think it's very interesting, and I hope you will find that also. And I'm having a show once all this crisis ends and we're allowed to intermingle again. I'm going to have a show here over a weekend, and I hope people who see this will come and enjoy my art and maybe buy some of it. So come on along. So my upcoming meal for the COVID crisis is going to be tacos, but not with fresh ground beef. It's going to be with canned beef. And I'll just do a lot of flavoring with this stuff to make it palatable. And then over here, there's my dishes that I have to do, and this is some of the food that I have laying around that I had no room for in the cupboards when I went on a buying spree before the lockdown. And in the middle of my kitchen, I have an ode to my job in Central Park. Tripod with people wanting to get Polaroid pictures. And then there's my water supply and papers, microwave, and then I have some of my art hanging all around my place. As you'll see right here, this is my living room. Two couches, and on the walls I have two of my biggest pieces, canvas pieces with strips of images of Julia Haltigan playing the guitar and Julia Cost playing the cello. And I have a computer station here just for when I'm watching TV, or I can also do some work here on the couch. And during the winter, it's very cold in this place. This is very big. You'll see in a moment. And this here is my godson, pointed right at me. I'm on the couch. And that is a gray heater. And this pile here, or piles, is all work I've done, some of the work I've done over the last 4 years and more in Peekskill. And I don't have any room, I don't have any more wall space for it, and it's just piles that I've, as you can see, divided with tissue paper. And I don't know what to do with them. I have some boxes, some archival boxes, which I'm going to stow them in, but I really am very resistant to doing that, because I just, like, once I stow it away, then what? What do I do with them? I'd like to see them out, but I haven't really been going through them. And as you can see here, my work is starting to be displayed, and I've got Polaroid cameras on the windowsills, and I've got them hanging from the pipes. And all the Polaroid cameras that are all around here are ones that I've used in Central Park over the last 5 years. They're both broken, and it was just not worth it to get them fixed, so I just had them on display. And right here is my gym, rowing machine, and this is just a new addition. This bike, and some exercise equipment over there, and exercise ball. And now here on the floor and on these tables here, this is a lot of the work I've done during the COVID crisis. Prints that or ink transfer prints that I've made. And somebody might think, and I've just destroyed these on purpose for effect. And you can see I've got a very creative impression of what this ink can do in certain ways coming out of my printer. It's kind of a complicated process. Some of it's transfers, some of it's not. And amongst these works, I have all my other works that was already here. Some of these pieces here on the ground I've just newly framed. So these pieces are dry. These pieces are drying, and they're probably dry already. I just haven't had a chance to do anything with them. And then what do I do with them? If I want to make more pieces, they're going to have to be added to the piles, which I don't like. But so it's just going to be another pile, and I just have too much work that and I don't want to stop not making it, but at the same time, I'm just like, how does anybody see this stuff if it's just going to be in piles? Who's going to buy it? And over here, this is a piece I'm very proud of. It's I use ultraviolet LEDs, and it's two images of a man playing the bass, Vasily, and at night in this area, it looks great. And some of my other work here on this is the other half of the table that had displayed of the piles of old work is half of a ping pong table, and this here is the other half of the ping pong table. And so now we come over here, and here this is a pile. These are some old works that I was looking for frames to. That's what I did with the ones on the ground here. I framed them up, find something that fits. And over here, and at the Peekskill flea market, I buy these old frames people just want to get rid of, and they give me a really good deal, and they see me coming. They know me. Then I've got tables here of well, I actually should backtrack for a second. Over here on display are some of my cameras. I have a big collection of cameras that I've used in the past, collected. But when I collect the cameras, I don't always collect them just for what they are. I collect them so I can use old cameras. And here are some of all my lenses and more camera supplies. More of my art supplies. And here is the heart of my studio. My work table with a lot of my art supplies and my computer. Ground zero. And then here are some of my top-notch printers. And more there's some of my supplies underneath the bench. There's another view of what you can see. And I got work everywhere. I got artwork all over. I covered. This is mainly shots of me in the past. I used to be an avid mountain climber. So these are some shots of me doing that. And then here, this is something that I've just started to use. It's a darkroom. And it's been here the whole time. And I never took advantage of it until the COVID crisis. And I am just about to, I have to restart. I had to shut down because the chemicals I was using got bad, or they were bad. And I had to order new chemicals and order new containers. So this is a great enlarger, and my enlarging paper, and this is the big sink for all the chemicals, all the trays, and all my supplies are over there. So this is becoming another big part. So we'll come around here. And this are shoe racks that I bought to house old works. And again, yeah, they're old works now. They've been here for a while, sitting around waiting for something, waiting for the day when I decide that I'm going to put them in a pile. Then what? And more of my key works on display here. This is Julia Koss playing the cello, various different impressions of her. And these are, again, some of the women musicians performing in the park. The cello player, guitar player, to the Haltikin and opera singer. And this here, it's a big piece of guys who are Haitians who were playing an instrument called the claron, which is this horn instrument that you can see. And these are all different prints done on different types of material of different people playing that instrument. And you can see around my place, I put stuff on the windows. And Gleb, my best friend who also does Polaroids with me in the park, took this Polaroid picture of me. And it's framed here. And this here, opera singer, lit up the LED lights in a toy box. And over here we have more piles of old works, and I was going through these to find ones to frame. And there was a period of time when I put them in plastic. This is Pains, an opera singer performing in the park. And this is the cello player Julia Cost performing in the park, all different pains of her doing that. And we have Julia Haltigan on the guitar, and there. And there's another view going back down that way. And in here, the last part is, I guess you call this the gallery room. Just kind of littered the walls. And then I put this big piece, my biggest piece, hanging from the ceiling. And in the middle, another light box. And there you have it. That is my studio, my living quarters, everything. And it's been a godsend. I don't know what I would do if I was in a one-bedroom apartment in Manhattan. Sorry, people in Manhattan, but well, I used to live in Manhattan, but it was a big place. But even in that big place, I still would have dreamt about this, but I might not have never known about it. But I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I do.